We're in front of Aldi. I'm Thomas DeLauer. This is my friend Bobby Parrish. You might recognize him from FlavCity. What's going on, Bobby?
Thomas, I'm in LA. We're going to do an epic Aldi haul. The question is, will we get kicked out? That's what everyone wants to know.
It's always the question. It's our claim to fame is we get kicked out of grocery stores when we're trying to do good, healthy things. So the whole purpose of this haul is going to be breakfast, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Eating breakfast.
Bacon and eggs. We just get tired of it. Whether you're doing a low carb thing or not, it's just bacon and eggs, man. You got to get creative.
We're going to raise the bar.
Raise the bar. We're going to do this budget style, Aldi style, and then in a couple days we'll have another video where we actually cook up the stuff that we brought in.
That's right.
So that we can teach you all about the science and the cooking piece.
That's right. We got you covered from the grocery store to the kitchen, my friend.
Now the other question, this is Aldi. Do you have a quarter so we can get a cart?
Yeah, I think we need to get a quarter. One of my favorite things, then we'll do some shopping. Let's do it,
All right, let's roll. You know, breakfast is, it's weird. I do a lot of intermittent fasting, so like breakfast isn't really a big part of my life, but when I do breakfast, the last thing I really want to have is just generic bacon and eggs. And
Totally.
But I will say, like, first things first, is people always think that bacon and eggs is automatically unhealthy. It's like, actually, eggs, to be completely honest, I mean, one of the most abundant amino acid profiles, like such a good healthy food if you get the right kind.
Totally agreed.
Same kind of deal with bacon.
Yes, but sometimes you got to mix it up, right?
You absolutely
Things
have to
get
mix it.
boring.
Let's see what we got here.
We do need the quarter.
Yep.
I'm going to go inside and get change. I guarantee this happens a lot. Oh, she actually gave me a free quarter.
Oh my gosh.
So we're off to a fortuitous start, Thomas.
Yes. All right. Now if we get kicked out, she's going to be like, I need that quarter back.
For sure.
All right. Let's do this. All right. So we're talking breakfast haul. Now,
Yes, indeed.
Now we got a little grocery list here because we're a little bit premeditated in terms of what we want to cook up, but we're going to talk about all kinds of different grocery items and stuff like that too. So the two things that we're planning on making, we are going to make some egg bites.
Yes.
So you know, still bacon and eggs. There'll still be eggs in this. The other thing,
that's the Starbucks version. Exactly. Yeah, it's the homemade DIY, actually keto version, because the Starbucks one put some potato starch in there and a few fillers.
yeah, exactly. Ends up also being not keto friendly
Exactly.
if you're rolling that way.
And not budget friendly. Those are expensive. 2 bites for like $4.75 at Starbucks.
Yeah,
Hurts
not
the wallet.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll kind of have a plan here. Like we're gonna head towards the eggs and stuff like that. We might bounce around a little bit, but if some things pop up as we go, then we can talk about the ingredients, talk about specific things in there.
Totally. And first, we're off to a great start because I don't know if you guys can notice, this is a high-end, new style Aldi here.
Yes.
This is pretty exciting.
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Wait, let's see if they have that bread here. We just walked by.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
we gotta do that.
Okay.
Let's see.
People have been talking about the Aldi keto bread. Not sure if they have it here.
It is exploding with that. Let's see. I really hope they have it. Oh, wait, they don't have, well, this is interesting. This is one of the better sprouted breads here. This is Silver Hills. It's organic sprouted, which is really nice. Check that out, see if it's Thomas approved.
All right. So for me, I do a lot of content talking about how no matter how clean the gluten is, it's still going to have what's called a prolamine effect in your body. So it still raises what are called TPO antibodies. So I almost invariably say stay away from the gluten, especially if you're a female that's having thyroid issues or anything like that. So this technically wouldn't make Thomas's approval list. So I have to, unfortunately, as much as I'm stoked to see that they're making a solid effort in this, I'm gonna have to pass on this one, but it is good stuff.
Okay. I really hope they have that keto bread here. Oh man. It's another sprouted one. I almost feel like it's the white whale. Like you can't find it at all these here.
All right. Doesn't look like they have it.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Bacon and eggs replacement. Let's just forget it. You know what we could do? One of the things that I actually have mixed into like scrambles and hashes and stuff before is asparagus. Asparagus, like first thing in the morning, people think it sounds weird, but it's actually pretty awesome. I don't know if it's going to fit within what we're doing today. But high levels of what's called asparaginine, which is actually really, really good for the kidneys, really good for the liver. So really just a great way to start the day. Plus it has a diuretic effect. So it helps end up kind of balancing out potassium, sodium in the body.
Okay.
So I like starting my day with asparagus, but I don't know if there's really an application for what we're going to be cooking today. But just word of the wise, Aldi has some really good deals on asparagus here.
You don't have to buy organic asparagus.
No, exactly. Very good.
Really nice.
Yep. Where's their spinach? There we go.
There we go. It's actually not the best price here. It's actually cheaper to get the Costco one, but it's not terrible.
Yeah. Now, what's your take on baby spinach versus regular spinach?
I mean, I go either way.
Yeah.
I'm happy with either one.
Yeah,
I just want to be organic.
Yeah, exactly. And the baby spinach, I tend to find has a little bit more flavor. It's also, I think it's just because it's younger. Same kind of thing like with kale. So you got regular kale here. I don't think they have baby kale here, but just word to the wise, like baby kale is much easier to chew, much easier to digest.
True.
And it actually has a higher level of that diindolylmethane that basically is an anti-estrogenic compound that's really, really good for, especially women, also good for men too.
Yep.
But in this case, we'll just roll with the baby spinach.
So have you told them the 2 recipes we're making today, or no, later on?
We're gonna kind of keep it a mystery.
Okay.
You know, I mean, so basically we're gonna do one that does have some eggs, or one that's a different kind of hash, but I'm gonna keep all the ingredients a little bit of a mystery.
That'll be part 2 of the video.
Exactly. Oh, they have these things. These things are so good, but they don't make the cut for today.
What do you think of the perfect bar, Thomas?
Not gonna work on keto, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, in the world of bars, I think it's pretty decent. I mean, anything that's at least going to be refrigerated for the most part is at least making the extra effort. From an economic standpoint, I don't know if you know this, but like when you look at how grocery stores are functioning, really expensive to be in a refrigerated section.
Good point.
Okay, it's very expensive for shelf space here. So if a company is going to be in the refrigerated section, it's either going one of 2 ways. They either have extremely high margins so they can afford that, which means that there's not good ingredients, or they're paying the extra money and going with a slimmer margin because they're really all about the ingredients.
Yeah.
So still a lot of ingredients in there.
I got fooled one time because there are a lot of really good ingredients, but I get held up. There's organic sunflower oil, but it's not expelled or pressed, which to me means it's still highly processed, which doesn't make the grade. So that kind of bothers me with this, but everything else is pretty interesting here.
Yeah, it is pretty darn decent. I mean, it's not I'm looking at it from like a macronutrient standpoint, a pretty aggressive combination of fats and carbs, which is not going to be a good thing when it comes down to your waistline. That's the hard part. Now, if you're just trying to eat healthy, eat clean, but you're still looking at 340 calories. So, I mean, if you're going to eat this thing, it's not going to be a snack. This is a full-blown meal replacement. So, but again, based on what they're basically looking at the ingredients in there, that's probably a pretty slim margin for them to even be in the refrigerated section.
For sure. The $1.89.
All right, I know we need some cheese. Yes. We could do a whole video on cheese if we wanted to. Okay, we could talk about different caseins, different kind of things, that A1 versus A2. I don't know if everyone wants to see that today.
I should have a video about that.
Okay, so you guys check it out. Make sure you check out his channel. He's got all kinds of good stuff there. Oh, they do have the grit.
Oh, wow.
Do we want to use, so I know we talked about this, or Swiss.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference in terms of what we're going to be cooking as far as taste goes?
Yeah, I mean, I love Gruyere. My question is, let's see if we can find a block. Because I don't like the fact that they coat the shredded ones in anti-caking agents like potato starch and stuff. I mean, it's a trivial
powdered cellulose.
Yeah, look at you guys. I mean, the powdered cellulose is basically wood pulp, and it's a trivial amount of carbs, but still, I think the quality of fresh block cheese is better.
I totally agree.
Can we find?
Can we find it? Okay, so I know we'll be able to find probably block Swiss. So if it comes down to shredded Gruyere versus block Swiss, we'll go block Swiss. It's also lower sodium content, which at the end of the day is going to be great too.
And it melts better because it's not coated in that like cellulose and stuff like that. You don't want that.
Fun fact, did you know that the hard cheeses are actually higher in the A2 casein versus the A1?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know
fun
that.
fact. So hard cheeses are actually generally healthier, but also, I mean, that's a broad statement, right? But like Parmesan is kind of cool. It's aged for so long that most of the lactose ends up coming out of it.
Yeah, that I knew, which is really nice.
So it ends up being, if you're keto, you're low carb, and you're looking for a cheese that's going to have a lower, so let's call it a carbon footprint on your body, a hard cheese is usually the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, getting off track here.
Swiss
White cheddar. Come on, really? They got to have Swiss somewhere.
That's shocking. A Happy Farms, yeah. It's going to be a low quality dairy in my opinion.
Yeah, it will for sure.
We could actually use the grass-fed cheddar if we could find it here.
As far as ingredients go, it looks fine, but it's like these lower quality cheeses, they're going to come from heavily, you know, like grain-fed, soy-fed cows. That's all leaching through into the fat in the cheese.
Yep. Every time I say that on the video, the farmers get mad at me, but that's just how I feel.
Farmers, I mean, they know the drill. They got to make money too, I get it, but you know, we also can be in control of our health here. I think let's roll with the white cheddar because that's a good aged one.
Yeah, and it's blocked, so.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That's a dang good price to be completely honest.
It's a great price.
Yeah. All right, so we're all gonna get some zucchinis here really quick too. Do you have a preference, in your case, over using like a yellow squash versus a zucchini when you're trying to make, like say, we're looking at just some different substitutes for putting into a hash, or
Yeah.
sometimes like you could fillet those and kind of, if you want to call it that, and make almost a bread replacement.
Yeah.
Just a bread replacement.
Right.
I mean,
If you can.
it's not going to be
If you can
bread.
do it.
Do you have a preference between squash?
I think the green has less water content and is more dense for a hash. So if we get a couple of these, I think that should be good to go. And these are keto friendly too, which is really nice.
Yeah, and I'm glad you picked those because higher amounts of chlorophyll in them too. So you're going to
nice.
be, it was a little bit of a trick question if you were going to say squash. So.
I pass with flying colors.
Yes, you do. He's not even a science nerd, and you're still passing with flying.
I'm just a nerd.
You're just an ingredient. Yeah, you're just a nerd. No, you're a ingredient science nerd. I'm I guess a body chemistry nerd.
That's right. Yeah, I can't go to that level.
No, it's not a level. It's a different category, which is why this video is going to rock.
That it will.
I'm going to grab some bell pepper and some red onion. Red onion is slightly higher higher sugar content than, but it's, I mean, generally when it's cooked at a decently high temperature, most of that sugar does get cooked off, so you end up having, it's a negligible amount, really.
Totally.
And the red onion is a higher prebiotic fiber content, which again, if you're interested in how this is all going to react within your body, you're going to want to watch part 2, because when Bobby's teaching me how to cook this stuff up, because I can't cook, I'm going to be throwing science and explaining what it does in your body and how you're going to get specific benefits from individual ingredients.
For sure.
I think we just need to grab a red bell pepper real quick.
Let's do it.
I don't have anything exciting to say about a red bell pepper. Take note, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. it is quiet here.
I guess we're going mini.
That'll work.
All right.
Those are a little sweet, but we'll make it work.
And they're organic, which is nice.
That is nice.
That's a dirty dozen too.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay, frozen rice cauliflower, we'll get that.
Yep.
Zucchini, pepper, I just want to make sure we're not missing anything
for
here.
sure. This is how professional we are. Our scribble notes here.
What does it say? STP?
Like salt and pepper.
like STP, like the oil company?
Yes,
You got the Irish cheddar here.
Oh, we have the grass fed or no?
Grass fed, should we sub it? You want to sub it out, or is it a different flavor?
No, I think it's better.
Yeah.
I'd rather get grass. I mean, it's $2.99 for.
Yeah, I mean it's
a little more expensive.
That was $2.49. No, I mean negligible. Well, ounce for
10 ounces.
It's definitely more expensive, but I mean you don't need a ton of it.
No.
So should we just get 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
Grass fed's the way to go, in my opinion.
You want mild or mature?
We're mature guys, so we can do that.
Okay, let's do it. Pumpkin spice cheese. That's weird.
I'm really excited about the grass-fed options here at Aldi, because obviously they have the beef, which we'll talk about in a second, but cheese is great. They have the grass-fed milk in the containers, in the dairy case, so it's pretty cool.
Totally. I just found something. This is really cool. All right. They have these little goat milk medallions. Now, goat milk is goat cheese. One of the things you can, again, take this with a grain of salt, you can get by a little bit more aggressively without being organic on the goat cheese, just because the protein content is different, and they're not just overly farmed to the point where they're just having to do tons and tons of soy and tons of, like, goats are pretty easy to feed. I mean, they're probably just eating your scraps anyway. But anyway, this is kind of cool. Like, my son loves cheese, and he loves to, like I would give that to my son.
Totally. Let's see if they have that organic chicken here, just for the heck of it.
Chicken breast or ground?
They usually have the chicken breast, but it's hard to find.
I just saw an interesting study, and I talked about this in another video. Ground meat ends up getting into your system and actually spiking your protein synthesis faster than regular meat.
Interesting.
And so if you're post-workout and you're eating something, you're going to get a better effect by going for ground, because it's going to get into your system, which makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
mechanically broken down. So, but it does legitimately cause protein synthesis to occur earlier. So recovery from a workout,
that's cool.
Ground is better than like a steak. Or,
very cool. Yeah. And if you're going to choose between ground turkey here at Aldi, I would forego the regular one for about $3.99. Get the organic one. I know it's pricier, but the non-GMO fed organic turkey, it is actually cheaper to get organic turkey at Trader Joe's or Costco. But still, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah. And I would get that 100 times.
Totally. And if they, I don't know if they have it, but ground, if you have an option between organic ground turkey and organic ground chicken, you're going to be better off with organic ground chicken, because of the fatty acid profile is better, but also how the chickens are generally, the pesticides and antibiotics that they give turkeys are usually much more aggressive than chickens in most cases. So it's just something to keep in mind. I don't think they have an organic ground chicken here.
No, but they have organic turkey chicken breast. That's what I was looking for, so that's nice.
That's cool.
That's about this is the best you can do here at Aldi, and it's still a little pricey. I mean, you can get.
That's not bad though.
It's not bad.
That's cheaper than Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I would get that here compared to the conventional one. It's just going to be a better price.
And ground turkey is also, by the way, a good breakfast alternative.
Totally.
Not for the sake of this video, but it's a good video. I mean, it's a good thing to just have if you're just like,
Spoiler alert for the meatball hash we're going to make for part 2. If you don't want to use ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken, ground lamb, anything you want.
Yeah, perfect. Love the fatty acid profile of ground lamb.
That's awesome. All right. So speaking of the protein, we need beef for our mini meatball hash.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that'll be right here. And this is one of my favorite buys. I'm assuming they have it.
Oh man, I hate when I see this stuff because it's just
brutal.
I understand people wanting to do plant-based diets. I don't bag on that, but the stuff that is in this is defeating the purpose of why you probably.
Let's talk about what's in there. Let's read this.
What's in this particular one? I can speak to beyond meat, but okay, rehydrated pea textured protein. That's not that bad. But when we get to the vegetable oil, ooh, like okay, you're doing a plant-based diet because you're trying to control inflammation, yet you just are now consuming the one thing that is going to skyrocket your IL-6, your C-reactive protein levels through the ceiling.
What about carrageenan there?
Again, just I thought it was natural or a natural inflammatory. Let's call it that.
So this, I mean, I understand the basis of meatless meat, but when you get rid of all the good stuff and put this bad stuff in there, you're defeating the purpose in the first place.
I mean, if you're gonna do this, just you might as well just have a pea protein shake or something like that, and just keep it clean.
All right, where's that ground beef grass-fed? Please tell me that.
They must have seen our other Aldi videos. They probably did, because I know I've gotten it here before.
Interesting.
We might have to. We might have to go ground turkey.
Wow. But that's fine. That's the cool thing about shopping. Like, look, all they have is the conventional GMO-fed.
Yeah, I would not recommend that.
What a bummer.
If you're in a pinch, you're in a pinch. I get it, and
totally.
But it's okay. That is a bummer. So, grass-fed, grass-finished whenever possible. Grass-fed does not always mean that it's grass-finished, so just keep that in mind. Try to look for grass-finished. I don't believe Aldi has a grass-finished one anyway. This Aldi is out of stock. So let's just go grab. Want to grab 2? Just
let's get the turkey. Yeah.
1 or 2.
I think 1's enough.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about recipes, guys. If they don't have beef, use turkey. If you don't like turkey, use chicken. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
So we got to go to bacon and eggs next.
Don't hate on the frozen food section.
Yeah.
So, frozen food is a lot of times better.
It is, I agree.
Okay. Ooh.
Here we go.
Do they have that thick cut stuff?
It's better.
Is it the Appleton Farms one that you like?
Oh, I didn't know they even had that. It's the Never Any thick cut, or Never Any, just the Never Any. Because the thick cut actually, I'm going to show you interesting. So this is the Never Any. Take a look at the ingredients, Thomas, and then if you compare that to this thick
pork,
cut.
Water, salt, cane sugar, celery extract.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that. But compare it, it's really hard to read. I think they do that on purpose. But this has some sketchy ingredients and phosphates in there, I believe.
That's like a whole dissertation written on that.
Yeah. So Never Any's a pretty good brand here. So that's going to be great. And then I talked about it this summer, but I was super happy to see this. They have grass-fed, uncured, and it's 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs here. So for Aldi at $3.99, it's a pretty decent deal for a relatively healthy-ish, unprocessed hot dog that doesn't have lips on there like they usually do,
Yeah. No, and the funny thing is that, and I've talked about this in lots of videos, when you're picking bacon, you want to try to pick bacon, and it's hard to do, but that have a thicker ribbon of fat versus the marbling, because that just tells you just where on the pig it was located. You want it as close to being pork belly as possible, because the thicker ribbon of fat is actually a cleaner fat than what actually gets marbled.
Oh, interesting.
So it's
the
pretty
opposite of beef.
Well, beef it's
like a marbling you would look for.
Yeah, well, you'd look for that for texture and for flavor, but not necessarily for fatty acid profile. So it's cool because you're looking at this from like an ingredient and a cooking side too. I'm looking at it from this is if someone's doing keto and they're trying to get the ideal fatty acid profile to get the best brain boost and things like that. So this is cool. You naturally just grab the right one. This is perfect. See, it's a nice thick ribbon of fat. Yes. It also makes it so that if someone does want to be a little bit lower fat, they could have the option of kind of peeling that off a bit more. So great find.
Yes.
That's cool stuff at Aldi there. Ooh, okay. I know we talked about cottage cheese with this recipe that we're going to be making. Again, we're going to want to make sure that you watch the next part 2 of this video where we cook stuff up and get in more depth. We talked about using cottage cheese or potentially cream cheese as a substitute. Cottage cheese is a tricky world. Very hard to find good, clean cottage cheese. Give a quick shout out to Good Culture because they're awesome.
So talk about some of the ingredients you consider shoddy there, because I agree. Where do you want to start, really?
So the monodiglycerides, not a big fan of that. Xanthan Gum, carrageenan is the one that stands out. Carabine gum. So they've got all these different gums and anti-cakings and basically emulsifiers in here. You know, if we were just, all it really needs to be is milk, cream, and like, you know, some culture.
Yeah.
Like, it's all really needs to be in
crazy.
there. So as close to that as you can possibly get. You know, the cultures are fine in there. Potassium sorbate, I don't like that being in there.
Agreed.
Okay, so anything that's going to be like sorbate, potassium is not bad. It's this, the sorbate is how they actually,
Too many sorbates in your body does what again?
well, there's a lot of different things. So mainly, the way I look at sorbates is what it does in terms of the glutamate process in the brain. So you might know something I don't know, but basically if you have sorbates in the body, you're creating this high glutamate cycle in the brain where the brain is basically wired up, similar to what if you were consuming MSG.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
Do you know something I don't know about sorbates?
No, that's
okay.
right, yeah.
I was going to say, because
I knew they're bad news.
okay, so we're not going to get the
Yeah, let's
cottage
not
cheese
do
here.
that. But we can easily sub that with cream cheese.
Again, if you're on a super budget and you are someone that's trying to just eat some healthy, you know,
Yeah.
I get it. You can have some cottage cheese now and then. It's not going to kill you, but it's not something you want to be having as a
No.
staple.
And I love it. Some people don't like the texture. It reminds me of their grandmother eating it out of like cantaloupe, but I like it. So I think we're going to run into a couple of the same problems. There is a couple gums in here, but I think it's way less than the cottage cheese.
Yeah, and I like, at least they're using carabine. That's not,
Yes, agreed.
that's good.
Agreed.
This is what I don't like. I never like this and or. Like,
I know.
oh, it's like you're that far removed
right?
from your processing.
know.
What about their Neufchâtel? I'm just curious.
Fit and active.
It's the same
Same
kind of stuff. No and or in this one, but it's the only reason that I look at this is because one of the things when people are doing a ketogenic diet tend to think that they need to keep it high fat all the time. You don't have to. You can reduce the fat. In fact, reduce the calories.
Look at this. They have Greek protein cream cheese. I've never seen this before.
It's just probably extra strained, I would imagine. Whey protein concentrate in there though, man.
Oh, interesting.
I think we should hold off. I think we should just go with the basic
Let's do it.
one.
Then we need some eggs, right? Here we go. So eggs will be interesting here because I know, Thomas, you love pasture-raised eggs like I do. And they just don't have that here yet. But what can we do as a second best is the question.
So we got free range, we got cage free. Okay, you know the drill. Cage free doesn't necessarily mean that they're not in little cages. It just means that they're in just containers instead of cages.
So something that sticks out to me, which is nice, I see certified humane on the free range and the organic cage free. That's something you could at least, you know, bank on being a So at least when you see the certified humane, you know the chickens are being treated right. They're not eating their own poop. They're not crammed in too much, but they still never ever go outside.
Yeah.
Never.
And you know what, even with the best eggs that are out there, it's really hard to find eggs that are from chickens that are not fed soy. Like, it's really
almost
hard.
impossible. Even the pasture-raised ones have soy supplemental feed. I was in Texas actually the other week, and a brand in Austin called Central Market had organic pasture-raised soy-free eggs for $5.50 a dozen. Like, it almost made me want to move there. I've never seen that before. It was crazy.
Moving to Texas for the eggs.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking too. The gold hen is probably the way to go.
Yeah, because they're a little cheaper. That's something where I wouldn't bother buying the organic necessarily. I know it's GMO.
Yeah, I was just going to look here. Because it doesn't really necessarily mean much in this case.
I mean, it is a GMO-free grain.
Raised humanely, sustainable farms, all natural, grain fed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they're not fed soy. And I'm
Right.
not. Yeah, I would still.
I would just trade down and save a few cents there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Always make sure they're not broken.
right.
All right.
We're going to use those to make a really cool version of Starbucks keto egg whites. Let's check the milk as long as we're here, Thomas. I don't see the grass-fed milk here.
No.
Oh, that's disappointing. It's so funny how...
More eggs over there, but look how they're separated just because they're.
Yeah,
Those are just
these are the bargain basement ones.
Yeah, that's,
I wouldn't get
eggs.
those. Those are the ones that are like eating sewerage and poop and like on top of each other. So how are we doing on the shopping?
Looking pretty solid, man. We just got to get some, and we got to get a couple spices, and we'll be good.
And frozen rice cauliflower.
Yes.
Okay. Love it.
Which should be somewhere right around here.
Yeah, should be right there. Yeah. I gotta say, the employees here in the LA Aldi are very chill. They don't really care too much.
We did like a robust hour-long Aldi haul video here, and we never. You do that at Walmart, you're in there for 5 minutes, you're
forget about
out.
it. Yeah.
Costco. You ever had an issue at Costco?
Never. Costco is the most friendly place ever.
Yeah. It's just hard because it's so crowded usually.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying not to be rude to people.
Yeah. One thing you guys don't realize, these videos are relatively easy to do, but we can be in the grocery store for hours at a time because employees are here, people walk by. So like we've been in Whole Foods for like 3 hours doing one video one time because it's just you got to wait for people to walk by and the employees.
And people, it's important that people understand. Like they're like, why don't you just ask for permission before you go to these grocery stores? You know, a lot of these companies, they have huge PR agencies and huge. You can't just. It's months and months, sometimes years to even get to talk to the right person to be able to get in to do one video. And then they're going to put stipulations on what you can say and what you can't say because they want to make sure they're portrayed in the right light. The cool thing is with what Bobby and I do is we are always portraying the store in a positive light. We're trying to teach people if this is what your option is, then this is what you can do. Like this is what, so.
Exactly.
Okay, let's find this.
So we're going to find some rice cauliflower. So this isn't necessarily part of the recipe, but Thomas wanted to get a way to sneak some extra keto-friendly stuff into our recipe right there.
Ah, nice. Garlic and herb. I'm just went and season it yourself. They've got garlic and herb there. Let's just season it ourselves.
Yeah, perfect. Actually, I normally don't buy frozen or pre-grated because it's more expensive, but for certain applications, including keto pizza crust, frozen is best because when you freeze vegetables, ice crystals form in the cell walls and you can squeeze out the water. And when you're making a keto pizza crust, you want to get out as much moisture as possible. Otherwise, if you try to make a rice pilaf or a fried rice with frozen, it's really wet and mushy.
Yeah, that makes sense. By the way, make a quick note here. I'll put a link down in the description. You've got a pretty awesome cookbook. It's kind of one of your claims of fame. So if you guys want to learn some of his recipes, you'll see in the next follow-up video when we do some cooking that this guy knows what he's talking about there. He is to the kitchen as I am to the laboratory.
Exactly, which is why we're collabing, because we have to combine the superpowers.
Exactly, take over the world.
Let's find the spices.
Yeah, we just got to get some spices.
I'm enjoying the ambiance of this Aldi, guys. I can spend hours here.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to come back tomorrow and do some more.
Never know.
I think spices might be on the next side.
Next aisle on the left.
Aha, here we go. Okay, so we call for paprika, some oregano, but we are gonna also throw a little curveball into it because I wanna add some cayenne.
Yes.
Because I want some Substance P. You guys are going, what the heck is Substance P? We're gonna save that for the cooking video, but I'm gonna get some cayenne. I know the nice thing is they've got the organic spices here. When you go down to, okay, you're talking about a spice that's been dried. If it does have any kind of inorganic compounds and stuff like that, they're going to manifest stronger when it's dried. So really important with spices to just go for the organic.
Totally. And we need what else? Oregano?
Paprika and oregano.
Okay. So we got,
now we could just use the cayenne instead of paprika, but it doesn't have the smoky taste.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. So they have the organic. They don't have organic oregano, but that's the beauty of cooking. It's like, you know what? I'll just pick thyme.
Thyme, I love thyme.
Because it's organic.
It's thyme
It's got
for
a
thyme.
great flavor. It's going to make our meatballs taste really good.
It's going to make it a good time.
Exactly. Substance P also. It kind of reminds me, that's all the rage with the kids, so you better stick around and learn what that's about.
Yeah.
And then paprika, do they have that?
I saw it right here. Yeah, 95 cents.
Okay, so that's the Stone Mill one.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a case where I'm going to leave it out. It doesn't have, first of all, I want smoked paprika because it has a smoky flavor. They don't have it. And it's a bargain basement one. I would just say, you know what? Leave it out if you have something at home like turmeric or cumin or coriander.
Totally.
You know, totally. The recipe is a blank canvas. You season it the way you want. So we have that.
We need salt and pepper, but we got that at the office, at the kitchen.
Yeah.
Usually, go for a pink Himalayan if you're going to get your salt here.
That's nice to have that. Costco obviously has the best deal on that.
Okay, it looks like we got black pepper here, which we're good with.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're in shape. Do we need any spray or anything to cook
take a look
here?
At what I have here. So this is so interesting. I originally saw the ghee here back in the day, and I said pass. But if you look on the fine print here, look what it says here, you guys. It says from grass-fed cows. I don't know why they're not advertising that bigger. I don't know if it's 100% grass-fed, but that's a pretty big claim to fame. I would put that on the front.
Do you ever cook with ghee?
All the time.
Well, what do you say we do with our cooking with ghee?
Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. No. You know what? I want to do that because it's a good price, and I haven't tried it yet, but I heard the flavor could be a little like stinky shoes. So we're going to find out.
You're going to find out.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is, like you said, they don't push the grass-fed cow thing, but they push the free of lactose, casein, gluten. I never see
that's so cool.
a company pushing free of casein. They clearly know their stuff.
Yeah, that's just cool.
Yet they're missing a huge market of people that are just, I don't even want to say it like this, it sounds bad, but like superficially educated that at least know grass-fed is better.
Can you explain to people why ghee is casein and lactose free and paleo?
Basically you're reducing it down to just the fat. So you're getting all the milk solids out, you're getting everything out, you're reducing it down to just the pure fat, the butter fat, which is totally fine. In fact, super high in what are called short chain fatty acids, which grow, well, they don't grow, but they help feed what's called the enterocytes. They feed the enterocytes and the endothelial cells within your gut lining.
Wow.
So it actually grows, and if you're in ketosis, is like the best thing you could possibly have happen to help get basically a more diverse gut bacteria,
Cool.
and then it's going to have a gut-brain axis effect, make you feel smarter. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's legit.
Very cool. Now, see, something I've never seen before, check this out. No, normally canola oil to me is toxic, but look at this. Have you ever seen cold-pressed, unrefined canola?
So what that tells me, to be completely honest, is that canola oil is cheap to make.
Yes.
They're trying to find a way to just pass it as a healthy food. So it's still,
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't buy it, but I've never seen it.
no, but I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose, because the whole purpose of canola oil is like mass production, mass production.
It's $4, so like, it's expensive crap.
Yeah,
really.
you might as well,
Yeah.
Avocado oil, love that stuff. All right. Well, let's go ahead and check out. Do you want to guess?
Double check our,
Let's check our list here. Cottage cheese, bacon, let's see, oregano, zucchini, bell peppers, red onion. I think we're in shape.
Okay.
Let's. You want to take a guess what we're going to be at price wise?
Oh man. I'm gonna guess we're gonna be at $28.50.
All right. This is California.
I'm used to the Chicago.
Yeah, that Midwest, you might be saving a little bit of money, man. We're in California here. I'm thinking we're more along the lines of maybe 41.
41. Okay.
Might be right, closer to 28. You know, you might not be that far off. We didn't get a whole lot of
I
stuff.
didn't get that much stuff.
Yeah.
Which is cool because it shows you can make some pretty easy keto recipes without
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, I think you actually might be right. Might be closer to 28.
You're not recording in here, right?
No.
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a keto Aldi video.
No.
Because last time they were like, I can't believe nobody said anything to you the whole time you were in here. Our director was like, even the cashier was like joking. I'm like, oh my god, nice video though.
Watch your YouTube stuff all the time.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Finally glad I got to meet you. Dude. Awesome.
Thanks, man. You're probably shopping at Aldi because of my video, right?
Bags
Yeah.
I'll get two bags.
See,
Okay.
you sure you guys are upset about that video?
$39.21.
$39.21.
You won.
Yeah, I won.
I'm not used to these valid prices.
Let's go and bag this up and then.
It was nice enough to give me the quarter. We got to get her back.
So, we almost got kicked out at the end because they said the last Aldi video went so viral that their store director saw it and was upset about it.
But like we talked about earlier, they shouldn't be upset about it. This is free
No,
advertising.
that lady, I think she might have known we were filming, and she was just kind of being,
She waited till we're done.
yeah,
So we're going to help her meet her monthly quota. That's why.
yeah, exactly. Am I doing something wrong here? Do I have to do something with this?
Oh, we got to go other side. Got to push through this side.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, I don't. What the heck's going on here? Oh, I get where we go.
Oh, yeah, use the other one. Yeah. There we go.
How many people does it take to get your All right, so 39 bucks. We got stuff that will, quite frankly, make a few days worth of breakfast. I mean, if you really wanted it. So very affordable here at Aldi. That's what I love. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this up in a part 2 video. It's gonna come out in a couple days. If you're watching this video after its release, there'll be a link down in the description so you can still go ahead and check out that next video because I wanna make sure everyone gets to see that.
For sure.
And have a lot of fun. Do make sure that you check out Bobby's channel, FlavCity. So there's gonna be a link for that down below in the description as well. Look at, we need you all to stand behind us when we get in trouble at grocery stores because we need your support. This is a really important thing. We need to, rile up the troops and know that it's like, we're doing good things. We're teaching people how to healthy shop.
That's right.
And these stores should be happy about it.
They should. And speaking of stores, we're not done. Over on my channel now, we're going to film part 1 at Costco, right? And then have part 2 in the kitchen cooking more recipes. So if you like these kind of videos, we're going to have a bunch for you guys to just binge on all day and learn about healthy shopping and healthy cooking.
Heck yeah, man. Let's
Awesome.
do it.
Let's do it, bro.
All right.
Oh, wait, we do have to return the quarter. In case you're worried, I do want to return the quarter to her.
Ah, you're so nice.
We're
Here,
not going
I'll
to
take
chip
that.
those young
I'll take that
ladies
stuff.
out of it. Oh, yeah.
All right.
What's up, dude? Hey, what's your name, man?
My name's Norvin.
All right, dude.
Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, we'll see you on the videos,
Oh,
dude.
of course.